Hi everyone. So I was not even able to say this sentence English like তুমি কখন ভাত খাবে. I was not even able to you know to translate this sentence as well. So when I've completed my SSC, ended up which was 2019. After that, we all know that we all had a very long break, right? So my English was that level. When I used to ask to my friends that please eat or how, what would be the English conversion of this sentence, like how do I translate this sentence. I was that level even after completing my SSC. So you could imagine that. No, I had no relation for a long time with English. I had no literally had no relation. Even I used to fear. I used to avoid whenever this subject. Whenever we are taught this subject, we used to avoid this subject. We used to. I also though I was good at doing math. I was good at all the science subjects related. So because the reason was I each and every day I used to do maths regularly. I used to solve physics, chemistry as well. So that's the reason I was good all the subject except English. So it has always I always ingrained this fear in my mind that English is something which it can't be it can't be said, or it can't be told in front of people as well. So from that level to this level, as you can see right now, I am speaking in front of all of you, sharing my journey, that how did I develop these skills of speaking English fluently. In this journey I had literally no one to help side me, except me. I was the one who helped myself. I was the one who always look for how can I develop these skills without taking anyone helps. So if I can do that, you can too. So without further ado, let's get into my journey. So now you might be asking that, how did he made it possible, like how did I make it possible. It's all up to you. Like, do you really want to learn English? And if you want to learn English, then ask this question to yourself: why? Like, why you want to learn English? If this question is clear to you, then you will find then how do you learn English. And I always say to my students that always start with small. This is kind of thing, like whenever we face, it can be any subject as well. Even to before begin, I just want to say that, but I had this one kind of fascination, like whenever my friends used to told that this subject is, or this chapter, this particular math is hard, no one could do this. I have always had this fascination. Whenever someone used to told me that this is something that no one can do, I jump to do that before everyone, before everyone do. So I always had this fascination to do, like, when something that no one can do, then why couldn't I do? I could do. I am able to do that things. So that's how my journey started. So from then, when, as I told you that, that there was a gap between our between our admission after complete our SSC. So on that long time, it's been more than 3 or 4 months continuously. I had studied. I had looked for so many resources, like how can I develop this, how, like how, which one, like what to do clear. Most of the student want to start their journey of being, of learning English to being fluent in English, but they don't know how. Now with the welfare of internet, you if you want, if you look for videos, you will come to thousands of videos, thousands, I won't say thousands, millions of resources, but you have to figure out what video, or which video is perfect for yourself, which you can, those videos getting into your head, not over your head. Did you understand this, guys? So it's up to you. So as I told you begin that, if why is clear to you, you will find a way to learn this. And then started with small things. It started with, I how do I say that, so if you fluently, if you want to speak that, I must say that, make or surround yourself with those stuffs. Whenever you look, whenever you read, it reminds of you that, of your journey. Like, okay, you, when you get up from sleep, there's always keep a note. It can be on your table, it can be beside your bed. But whenever you get up from sleep, the first thing that comes to your mind that, okay, I was in a mission, or I am in a mission to learn English, then if you are lucky enough, you could find any of your friends, peers, if you are lucky enough. But if you are not enough, so let me tell you that, you don't need to worry about. As we all know that now, this, in the age of modern science, it has changed the way, it has makes things more easier. But for those, for whom, who know how to use this. As we all know that in this modern, or today's era, that there is invention of chat gpt. We all know that, we all must have at least heard the name of this chat gpt at least for even once. But most of us don't know, like, how did it work, like what's the use of it. You know when I used to learn, I used to practice, there was no one with me to practice. But but yeah, luckily I had my brothers with me to practice. He is the only guy. Just I used to practice whenever I get free times. But apart from that, I had no one. I had literally no one to practice. In our culture, like, everyone feel uncomfortable, like whenever we start speaking, feel the way the others look at you, like, why you are speaking English. So you won't feel motivated to speak, one sentence more. You feel, there was, I think, I might making some mistakes. Then you just left you using this language. You couldn't, adjust yourself. So that's how, we all have this, fear, like, if we make any mistakes, like, how, what do people think. My dear friends, let me tell you that if you are ready to make mistake, that means you have got half of the battle on. You accept that you in this journey you will make thousands of mistakes, but at the end you're gonna learn more. The more mistake you will do, the better you will be on it. So I whenever someone comes to me that, like, how can we, learn this English, or how can we achieve this fluency, I said that you must have this mentality of making mistakes, even intentionally. I said that make mistake intentionally, only then you can learn. So that was my personal, perception. And in a whole journey, I had so many lot of things to share with every one of you, and I will keep sharing. The reason is, when I do share with all of you, it reminds me of my struggle on my journey as well. I can say that myself, yeah, you have done the great things. So still I'm in a learning process. I still learn English. I make learning English my habit. When once you make this as your habit, you don't need to push anyone to, hey, please learn English, please learn this vocabulary. No one, literally no one. Without even, it will, when you could save this into your subconscious mind, you don't even need to think that, oh, what am I doing. No, I supposed to learn English, I supposed to learn vocabulary. No, my dear, without even, without even thinking, without even noticing that, you understand that whenever you are, watching, scrolling, or you just, whenever you come, or whenever any English first come across, you just for yourself, and you are just trying to know that, do you know this meaning of the sentences, and how do you make sentences. I have personally experienced this. Whenever I used to go to Dhaka to Noakhali, on that journey of 4 or 5 long hours on bus, each and every day my mind just, looking for, like, how, sentence formation. I used to make sentences. I used to think, how do I say this? How do I say this? How do I explain this? Each and every day in my mind, I used to talk with myself, and that's how I developed. It takes a lot of time. It's not like that. As I told you that, this journey started 2019, and now 2025, 2005. So you can imagine that it's not a piece of cake, like anyone just, watch 2 or 3 videos tutorial and practice for 1 month. My dear friends, is a journey. Speaking or being fluency, it's not a 2 or 3 month course. Like, and you ask you that offer you fluent in 30 days, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, it's all depend on your determination of your focus, like how enthusiastically or how passionately you are taking this. If you really, as I told you, that if this why and how is clear to you, you can own the world. So okay, today I've shared a lot of things that the so in brief or in a nutshell, that to learn this language or to be able to speak English, the first one is, make this why clear to yourself, why you want to learn English. Very clear. And you will find a way how. Just start with a small, even with one sentence, even with one vocabulary, no problem. Just make it happen. And in this journey of yourself, if you find no one, unfortunately, fortunately, you have ChatGPT, and you have so many AI tools right now available on YouTube. I also YouTube, on even on your apps. So do some research, do some get some knowledge, and learn how do I use this. If you make any sentences, you might be thinking that I might making mistakes. Okay, to make sure if this sentence formation is right or wrong, copy the sentence, send to the chat gpt, ask him that is this sentence correct, or how to transfer this sentence. Make sentence to yourself first, and then you don't need to ask to anyone. You can just do some, yeah, yeah, as I told you, you have chat gpt bots, and ask to him that is this sentence right, or what is the grammar mistake I did, and how can I make it correct. My dear friends, it will tell you everything. So then why still you are just thinking about how can I learn English? You don't need to worry about anything. Each and everything is available right now on internet, even on your mobile. So it's just up to you what you want to do with your life, what particular skill you want to learn. So it's all up to you. And thank you very much. In my next videos, I'll keep sharing step to step, so that you also being able to learn English, and have this fluency. It's now, we all know that, in the age of modern technology, you must be able to speak English, you must be able to understand English. Without it, you are far, you will be lag behind. So if you want to be in the race, start learning, start speaking, and you could change yourself in a massive way. So thank you very much.